me turn this down. I love Rod Wave. Have you guys ever listened to Rod Wave's new album? So pure. I like it. Men don't really share their emotions as much as he does, and I appreciate men that break through that shell that was forced on them, So today we're doing an episode alone. I've dreaded doing this because I feel like it's easier talking to someone about the topics. I'm gonna try my best to answer some questions that people have had for me. These are questions that I hear a lot, like throughout the years, even at a young age, I hear it. And today we're gonna try and answer all of them. So I don't know what y'all doing while you're listening to this. Grab your favorite drink, and just sit down and relax, and I'm gonna try and get through these. So a newer question that I've been getting since the pandemic was, how do you manage your schedule? At first I didn't, there was no managing it. It was just one task after another, just get it done. It was just one thing after another, no breaks, there was no pacing myself. There was no managing it, and people would ask me oh, how are you able to get so much done? Lost to sleep, because at the time, not to say that this was the only thing that motivated me to do stuff like that, but a lot of people online, motivational speakers, would be like, you just need to grind, you need to work for it, you need to be on your A game 24/7, bring your best work, da-da-da-da. It was just this whole grinding culture. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that a lot of people know what I'm talking about when I say grinding culture too. So, that got in my head a little, and me being the person that I am, I was already that type of person where I just would overwork myself, and I'd stay up through the night working on a project or something like that, Being that type of person, hearing that, it only confirmed what I was doing. So I just thought that was the right thing because, you hear it all the time. So I just kept going, and it lasted for 2-3 years. Only lasted for so long until I really had to change my ways, because when I tell you that grinding culture will drain you, it will drain you to no ends, and it leaves people always trying to fill a hole that you're just you're trying to fill a hole that you made from you trying to fill another hole, you know what I'm saying, that type of thing. I hope that made sense. See, this is why Melody can't do these things alone. But let me see. But recently, I've been learning about different ways to pace myself, and I've definitely found a few different outlets to help me manage my schedule. I'm a list person. I need to write it down, I've always been that type of person. Even at a young age, I had little tiny lists of what I needed from the toy store, you know what I'm saying? Okay, let me get the Lalaloopsies, and then I need the Lalaloopsy second edition. I was like that. I was a list girl. I just started using it to my advantage now. So, even in school now, I'm making sure that even though a lot of our schooling is virtual, I make sure that I write it down, because that's going to help me obtain the information more. And even if it takes a little bit longer than everybody else, I got to do what I got to do, because, I need to get this done. I need to learn this material. I need to, achieve what I have to achieve. So, if you got to take a couple extra steps than everybody else, that's okay too, Everybody works differently, The way that you handle something, the way that you tackle a situation may not be the same way that someone else tackles a situation. And you got to remember that that's okay. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I had to realize. Like, I'm not going to function the same as everybody else. Like, I have different stuff to offer. I have different skills. I have a different brain that works differently than you and you and you. You know what I'm saying? So what helped me was knowing that my schedule wasn't going to look like everybody else's schedule. Like, don't try and fit your schedule into other people's schedule. Just make your schedule, okay? How do you manage your schedule? Base it around yourself, okay? What else? I make sure that there's rest included in that, you know? I give myself 2-3 hours a day, you know? Unplugged, you know, to myself. Like, make sure you have time for yourself in the schedule. Because then when it's time to get down to the nitty-gritty and, you know, you have to put in some work, you're ready for it. You feel rested enough to actually complete the work. You feel more eager to do the work. It's not draining, because one thing about doing stuff like owning a business or, you know, having a hobby or something like that, you know, whatever it is, having a thing, it could get draining once you like put too much into it without rest. You know what I'm saying? And people underestimate the power of sleep. People underestimate the power of meditation, praying, anything like that. You know, people just underestimate it, because it will really help you pace yourself, because we live in a very fast culture and everything's always moving 25/8. So sometimes we need to take time to just slow down, because if you keep going thought to thought to thought, action to action to action, no rest, no sleep, no nothing, you're on this grind, you're gonna catch yourself making a lot more mistakes, you know? So skip the mistakes, be slow, pace yourself. Calendars. Oh my goodness. Y'all, I used to think that people that like had calendars hanging up in their bedroom were like so like, I don't know. I just thought like, oh, you think you're better than me type thing. Like, I don't know. I just thought like they were better than me. Like, or they thought like, I don't know. I thought it was like some type of superior complex type of thing, you know, like, but one day, I think Adam's old girlfriend gave me her old calendar, and I started using it. I was like, wait a second. These people are onto something. They're onto something. And I just found that so funny, because now I'm that calendar girl, and I don't care. Like, I'm so glad that that girl gave me that. So my job gives me my schedule like for the month. So I write down the days that I work for the month, and then I put that into my appointments, my booking.com, and then people book around that. And then, yeah. And then I'll fit in, you know, because some people hit me up personally for it, like, you know, friends and family and stuff. So then I could add it to the calendar. You know, there's a lot of flaws in how I manage my schedule still. But I'm slowly able to attend to those problems one by one. And I'm not going to force myself to do too much at once either. Like, I don't want to cause burnout anymore, because burnout is real bad nowadays, and they happen a lot more often than they should now. With not just me, but like other people. I know, because, you know, I have friends and they experience the same type of thing too. Whether they want to acknowledge that it's burnout or not, it's burnout. Like, it's burnout one way or another. And if I could do anything to prevent burnout, then I'm going to take it, because I'm already a woman and I already have my period once a month. And that already sets off a whole set of emotions once a month. So let's not make it worse and add burnout to that, because that with burnout and, you know, work and college and entrepreneur business and this, that, and the third. So that's why I make sure that I rest, you know. And then now when I feel myself overworking myself, I could feel it now, and I know I shouldn't be doing this much, like, you know, like withdraw, or, you know, tell them you can't do it, like, you know, you're gonna have to say no sometimes, and you're just gonna have to be okay with that. Like, just gotta be okay with your schedule being your schedule. Just stick to your schedule and you'll be fine. So the next question is, how do you respond to negative feedback on your work? That is a really good question. That's to be expected. Like, not everyone is going to understand where you're coming from. They're just not going to vibe with you, you know? Like, that's plain and simple. Like, I grew up making stuff. I grew up having people's opinions on it. I think I'm just used to, this is your opinion and this is my opinion, and we can agree to disagree on that, you know? And most of the time, I don't really receive a lot of negative feedback. I personally feel like not everyone's going to be truthful with you. You know what I'm saying? Someone is just going to agree with you because, you know, that's your friend, I feel like that's why I haven't gotten a lot of negative feedback. I think the best answer to this question is you don't respond. Like, you don't respond. You don't feed into that. You don't think about it. Like, don't pay attention to anything negative that has to do with what you're trying to build for yourself, okay? Because that's the thing that's gonna hold you back when you start sitting down and giving these people the time of day. And it's not even like, oh, they're trying to be hateful. Like, maybe they're just being honest, and that's okay too. And you could sit there and be like, I respect your opinion, and move on, you know? Don't even try and be like, oh, why not? Oh, da-da-da-da. Like, don't even try and indulge in that. Just keep making your work, you know? The best thing that you could do is make work for yourself. A lot of people ask me about how I handle negative customers. You don't. Again, you don't. The times where I've had negative customers and I indulge in it, not even worth your time. Because at the end of the day, they're going to think from their side, you're going to think from your side. Just don't waste your time on negative things. Negative feedback, negative customers. Just don't. The next question is, what keeps you from taking things to the heart? That was a very difficult thing I had to learn. Taking things to the heart. I'm a very emotional person, and my work shows a lot of my emotion. Like my artwork or my poetry or anything like that, it shows a lot of my emotion. So when people comment on it, it kind of hurts, or it did hurt. And I took it very personal, and it made me not want to write more or whatever. But, you know, over the years, it just came to the point where wasting so much time on what someone thinks of you, like, bro, we only have 24 hours in a day, like, and I'm spending 5 minutes thinking about why they don't like my artwork. 5 minutes I will never get back in my life. When I realized that time was very limited, that made me not want to care about taking things to the heart, you know? When I realized that my time is very limited, that's when I realized life is too short to be giving this person 5 minutes of my time that I will never, ever, 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 ever get back. Girl of my dreams. Any tips for dealing with people along the path who aren't on the same timing as you? This was a direct question that someone asked me, and I told them that I'd answer it in a video like this. Rest. That's my first advice. I'm going to stress rest forever. Understanding perfection isn't a thing, okay? You're going to be out here trying to strive for perfection, and you will never reach it. Your work is your work. As long as you like it, that's all that matters. You don't want it to be perfect. You just want it in your image, okay? Post it. That's my next advice. Just post it. Just post it, okay? If you're trying to be a content creator and you have all these videos in your drafts, just post it. Just post it. Because all it takes is one video for people to realize that you have more to offer to the table than other people. You know what I'm saying? Or that you're a very interesting person. Or that you have a personality. You know what I'm saying? Personality. That's the other thing. Staying true to yourself. Not following what everybody else wants you to do, what everybody thinks you should do. Do what you think you should do. Someone's not going to always be able to give you the right advice because they don't know everything that you're going through. They don't know how your mind works. They don't know what would best suit you. One thing that I really realized was what beats talent is consistency. Showing up every day, even when you don't want to. Showing up every day within your limits, okay? With the rest included. Like, you have to want it bad. You have to want it more than you breathe. Almost, like, it has to be a genuine want. I'm saying that to over-exaggerate how bad you should want it. But along with wanting it, you have to take the right steps. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself, because if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't build nothing with an ill body and an ill mind. Like, you can't do none of that. You just have to make sure that you want it for yourself, not want it for someone else, you know? Or to prove someone wrong, or to, you know, you have to want it for yourself. Or else it could only grow so far. If you had to write a book, what would you write about? I would probably put a list of everything that has helped me get where I am right now. But I also know that I'm going to learn so much more, so I wouldn't even write the book until I was like, in my 40s. And even then, like, you still are learning. You're probably going to learn so much more after that. You know, especially being a woman, like, probably wait until after menopause. Like, there's so much more life to live after that. So one thing I always try to remind myself is that I don't know everything. I'm still learning. I'm still changing. And I just had to give myself enough room for that. And if people around me aren't giving me that type of room, then they don't need to be around, you know? As long as I'm understanding of myself and understanding of others, like knowing that they're probably going through what I'm going through or whatever, like, you know, in the changing aspect, then, you know, we could be cool. Like, we could be cool. But book. Off topic, jeez. See, this is why I need someone to keep me on task, on point. I want to do a book of poems. Maybe one that, like, explains my life. Like, all the cool events in my life. Write a poem about it. All my childhood memories. Write a poem about it. And then I could put it in order. And that would be what I would write about. Watch, someone's going to take my idea. I already know. I just gave y'all free bait. I wanted to keep this episode short, and I think I'm there. It's probably going to be around like 20, 25 minutes, maybe 30. I did good on time. Do you ever get tired of trying so hard? Do you ever get tired of being productive? What does your relaxation mean to you with your lifestyle? Do I ever get tired of trying? Yes, actually, all the time. All the time. Like I don't always have the motivation to do these things, you know? I have a lot of hobbies. People know that. So to constantly want to do everything 24/7 is draining. So no, I do not. I do get tired of trying, quote unquote, trying so hard. It's not even me trying so hard. It's just me trying to uphold all these skills at once, when normally it's, okay, a person picks one thing and that's that, and then they just perfect it. Me, I don't have one thing that I ever want to just stick to forever. Like, I can't wrap my head around it right now. Maybe at one point God will open some type of door and I'll be like, yes, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Like, but I don't have that. So it does get tiring trying to do everything. And a lot of people want to not be honest and be like, oh, I never get tired of it. I love it. Like, I love it. This is what I do. This is what I... No. No, that's not how it... And if you say that, you're not being realistic. Like, I'm sure that people with just one thing get tired of it, you know? Not to say that I'm better than anybody else. Let's get that clear. Like, I just exert my energy differently than you do. You know what I'm saying? And not to say that you're better than me, I'm better than you. But, you know, that's just fact. That's just fact. Do you ever get tired of being productive? When I am productive, I usually have this proud feeling after. So I don't get tired of being productive, but it's get tired of getting in that productive state. I get tired of building up to that moment. Like, the actual being productive feels good to me. And I feel like a lot of people can agree to me when they say like being productive feels good. It's just the build up as something as simple as work. Like, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. So, you know that you have work at 3, but you really don't want to go. Like, you really don't want to go. But once you get there and you clock in and you start doing your work, then the tiredness goes away and you're okay. Like, you're okay for your shift and you feel good. Like, you feel like, or you clean up a little nicer today than you did yesterday. Like little stuff like that. Like the being productive part feels good. It's the build up to that. What does relaxation mean to you? It means not being on social media, not answering any client calls, client text messages. It means thinking about myself. It means self-care. I might take a extra long shower that day. Might tend to my skin a little bit more that day. Sleep a little bit longer. That's what relaxation looks like to me. Not having to do anything, or cleaning up my space is a form of relaxation for me, because the look of like pressing the reset button on your room and your room's all clean again, that feels nice. I like that feeling, so that's why I clean, because I like the aftermath feeling. That's a good thing though. If you have something, like, just think about the aftermath. Think about how that dreadful or that annoying thing that you have to do, like, think about the aftermath. It'll make you do it more, Like, you don't want to go to the gym, but you want the body, so you go, Stuff like that. And you can just show up. Just show up. Simple. It's funny because the whole question was, what does your relaxation mean to you with your lifestyle? My lifestyle is pretty unique because I work overnights, I'm in school, and I take clients during the day. So it's like, where do you find time to sleep? And you'd be surprised. Like, I actually do find sleep nowadays. And that's because I put myself on a schedule. Like, I know, like, I'll map out what I have to do for the day. I'll write it down, 7 o'clock, 7 a.m., clock out, 8 a.m., gym, or 7:30 gym, have to start the workout by 8 o'clock to be on time, be there for 45 minutes, because you don't need to be there for too long to get a good workout in. Head back to my apartment, get in bed at 9 o'clock, and then I wake up at 3, and then I have the rest of the day to do clients, podcast show, homework, or if I have school, then I'll plan around that. 7 a.m. clock out. Have class at 9. I'm gonna get my coffee and I'm gonna go straight to the school because you gotta walk. And then after that, after my class, go back to my apartment, sleep, and then I sleep until like 5, 6, and then I'm up until my next shift. And you just have to do what works for you. I know a lot of people can't do that. I know a lot of people don't understand that, and that's okay, But that's what works for me right now. I'm experiencing a lot less burnout. I hope y'all are having a great week. I hope everyone is self-reflecting. I hope these podcasts are helping some people out there. I'm not really worried about the views on this or any of my podcasts, for that matter. As long as it helps a few people, I'm chilling. These podcasts are only going to get better, and I'm going to be able to take more time into these, and hopefully we get the cameras on soon. But for now, this will do. So until next time, y'all, this is A Rose, and we're going to catch you on the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what y'all think for real, okay? I love to hear from you guys. I love to hear the feedback. I love to hear that it's helping some of y'all, okay? Just motivation to keep going, I guess. But until next time, y'all.